Green Arrow number 12, written by Ann Nesenti, art by Harvey Tolibao. Last issue left off with just a whole thing of Green Arrow is in China trying to get his company back, but he has to trade off some facial recognition tech in order to do it, and he don't want to do it. Anyway, he gets attacked, and this issue just picks up there with him just beating up the henchman, but also kind of losing a bit. It's honestly like the first half of this entire issue, it's like, I'm winning, but I'm also losing. And I have to do this, but I also have to do that. And I'm never going to do this, but I will definitely do this. And it's constantly bouncing back and forth between these opposite poles, and it just can't make up its mind. So anyway, the guy that he's trying to make the deal with, his name is Fang. Fang puts on this weird costume that has a bunch of false faces or whatever. And he cuts Green Arrow's tie because he's just in a business suit, and apparently that is the greatest insult, as we will find later on. But regardless, he has these false faces, and he just basically tells Green Arrow, look, I'm letting you leave because you came into China without, anyone knowing. No one knows you're here. Therefore, you won't be able to leave as easily. I'll make sure of that. And you're going to end up giving me that tech whether you want to or not. So Green Arrow just leaves. He hops in the car with Jimmy Crew, who is the guy who flew him in the first place. And why they can't leave here, I don't know. They don't say why. They just say, oh, well, I guess we just have to stay and deal with this. And then they have an extended conversation of, China, really sucks. But at the same time, it has some cool things. But it also, sucks. I don't know whether we're pro or against China in this comic. It seems against, just by the general gist of it. But they get to a point where Oliver's like, okay, Jimmy, you're cool and all, but I'm just going to go my own way. And Jimmy's like, okay, I'm going to go talk to a local Chinese hero named Susie Ming, and maybe she can help us out. So immediately after Oliver gets out of the car, he's like, uh-oh, I've got the feeling I'm going to get jumped in this neighborhood. To which he then correctly points out that there's a crazy woman cradling a baby, and he's like, oh, I hope that baby isn't a gun. And turns out it's not a gun. It's a baby doll. But the baby doll shoots some, knockout gas. And he sprays Green Arrow, and then he's put into a political prison where nobody knows where he is. And then he's like, oh, geez, they took all my tech I had on me, which was, quite a bit of tech. Hey, other random guys in this jail cell, what are you in for? And they're all in for, oh, I question the political standing of the Chinese party or whatever. And so Green Arrow's like, cool, I'm going to break out of here. Tell them to bring me that gun because it actually has a pretty woman in it. And he turns on a hologram of this half-naked woman and then uses it as a gun. He doesn't fire the gun. Instead, he fires a small crossbow that he also got access to, which genuinely I have no idea how he managed to do that. But regardless, he breaks out of the prison. Everyone else seemingly goes free. And then we just leave them. They are given names. They lay out their backstories. And maybe they'll come back again. But I don't think so. And I don't care to find out. So then we cut over to Jimmy talking to Susie Ming. And Susie's like, hey, what do you know about Oliver Queen? And it's like, oh, you'll hate Oliver Queen. He's a dick. And it's like, oh, well, what about this Green Arrow guy? And it's like, oh, you'll hate Green Arrow. He's a dick. And then Susie's like, all right, well, I guess I'll help you out with your issue with that Jimmy, or that Fang guy that you're having problems with. So that happens. And then we get the most confounding 2 pages of my entire life. I can't even. So she says she'll help. Then we cut to Jin Fang's house, where there is a collection of either children or very, very short men and women. Genuinely cannot tell based off of Talibao's art. But they're looking at some graves, and then all of a sudden, the people inside the graves come out after they say, the most random sentences. I can't even begin. It's who are they? Grandma and Grandpa, Phoenix and Monkey. What are their homes? Rocks, no doors. And the hole? A pocket, a cavity, a bed, another door. I don't know what's going on. I am genuinely lost here. But regardless, some weird ghost zombies come out, and then they fly up into the air and attack Susie Ming and Green Arrow, who I guess were already here, despite us not seeing that at all. End of issue. It's not good. That's about all I can put. Like, what? I don't even know what happened here. I get the general vibe of like, okay, he can't sell his tech to this person because they'll do bad things. But like, what was everything else in that issue? Genuinely, I have no idea what happened. So I can't even begin to critique it. Like, all I can critique it is that it did nothing to tell me what was going on. I wish I could say more, but I am honestly dumbfounded by the fact of, hey, give me that gun, there's a half-naked woman hologram for some reason, and then I'm just going to attack you. I don't get it. Am I just out of the joke? Okay, it's a 2.5, and the only reason I even give it that much is, at least, unlike the previous arc with the King Lear guy, at least I can tell that this one is following a linear path. Like, I can tell this event led to this event. Genuinely didn't even get that from that one. But then this last 2 pages, like, completely throws that out the window. Because I feel like it came from a different comic. I genuinely feel like I just picked up some other 2 pages, and all of a sudden there's just zombie Japanese or Chinese ghosts. Yeah. 2.5.